In a second. Hey y'all, welcome back. This is week 3 of our farmers market series. Sorry, I'm looking at my son. And we are actually going to go pick dandelions right now. We are going to make some dandelion jelly, which I'm actually taking some that's already made to the market this weekend. But we're going to make some more to have on hand for us for gifts at Christmas time. And so we're going to go pick some dandelions for that. I have decided I'm going to do 3 different cookies this week. I'm talking to my friends. I have decided I'm going to do 3 different cookies this week. We're going to have some Father's Day type treats because Father's Day is on Sunday at the farmer's market. So I'm also going to have some sourdough Pop Tarts and then some sourdough rolls, or no, sourdough bagels and sourdough cinnamon rolls. So that's what I'm doing this week. So I will keep y'all updated. So come along and follow along with us.
Baba, you can push the spool. I'm gonna. Where's the jar? The jar is in the.
All right, y'all. I swear I've tried to record this like 10,000 times, and it has not worked. So we're at the market today, and I am selling sourdough bagels, sourdough Pop Tarts. What else? I'm selling homemade lollipops, like honey lollipops. I have honey, and then I have elderberry syrup and honey, and then I have regular dye-free cotton candy lollipops. So pretty excited about those. So it's something new. I also have a couple of special Father's Day gifts items that I printed with my Eddie. So I'll show you all that. I have 2 types of drop cookies. I have some simmer pots that I'm going to sell. What else? I have a dehydrated sourdough starter that I'm going to sell. And some leftover sugar cookies from the week. And then I have 5 dozen eggs, chicken eggs, and 2 dozen quail eggs. So we're going to have that. And I'll show you the setup in just a little bit. I'm pretty excited. This is like the 4th time I tried to film this video, but I did not have my microphone charged, so it was not picking up and it was just messing up. So we have that. And then I'm going to go through at the end of what I did this week in my business. So I have this farmer's market, but my main source of income is through sugar cookies, decorated sugar cookies. So I'm going to tell you all about that. I had 5 dozen custom orders this week, which is not a lot, but for June and July, like the summer slowdown, it's really good. I'm sorry, my allergies are like killing me. It's already humid. If you live in the South in the summertime, humidity, like I mean, my hair is a little crazy already. So, anyways, that's why it's up. And then I also had a private cookie decorating class last night, which was really awesome. There were 13 people there, so that was really good. That was a big chunk of my income this week. And then I have a whole bunch of orders coming in for the summer, which is awesome and not typical, but I'm praising God for that. So we will go into that, and at the end of June, all of these totals will be added into the total of my income for June. So yeah, I look forward to letting y'all know how today goes. Looks like it's gonna be good. No rain in the forecast until this afternoon. So fingers crossed it's busy.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. My name is Sarah with Morningtown Homemade Goods, and I'm here to talk about Farmers Market number 3. And I'm going to let y'all know how that went, what sales were like, all that fun stuff. I'm also going to let you know what I did this week as a small business. So previously, I filmed when I was there this morning. So it is now Saturday evening, about 8 o'clock. I am trying to get this video in the natural light before the rain comes because it's about to be another storm. We've had a storm every night this week. So it's about to be another storm. I'm trying to get this video in before that storm. So yeah, so this market, if you remember last week, we had 1 page of sales, and then the market supervisor and the market coordinator. I couldn't think. Words are hard. The market coordinator went ahead and purchased the remainder of my cookies. So I sold about $156 worth of items last week because of that. Before her purchasing that, it would have been about 96. So that was $60 extra at the end of the market that I was not expecting, which was nice. And so it was about 1 page of sales in my notebook, just for reference. And this week we had 1 3/4, 2/3 pages. So not quite 2 pages, a little bit more than 1.5 pages of sales, which is good. So overall, I felt like this week was busier. And when I was talking to other vendors, they actually thought last weekend was busier, but maybe they made more sales last weekend than I did. I don't know. It's just so weird being a baked goods person there. And it's also weird because this market has 2 today we had 2 baked good items or baked good vendors out of 8 vendors. And then last week we had 3 because we had the sourdough lady. So it's hard, I think, because I think the market is just oversaturated with baked goods, that it might not necessarily be the best fit for me, but it is good exposure and good experience. And I gave my card out to a lot of people today. And so that's always good for me. And I'm going to take that as a win for this year. And then next year, maybe reevaluate if I'm going to do it. Because if there's going to be multiple baked goods people, then I'm probably not going to do it. Yeah. So just keeping that in mind. But I love the market coordinator, and I will definitely do more of her events if I don't continue with the market next year. So we have 3 more markets. I am done with the markets until July 2nd, which is like the Wednesday before 4th of July. So my plan then is to have a lot of fun July treats for kids for that weekend, for families, so a lot of paint your own, maybe like flag cookies, maybe some dunker sets with cookies, all that fun stuff. Maybe some, I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe some tic-tac-toe boards with cookies and M&Ms. Just gotta be careful with the chocolate. So I'm gonna work on that, or maybe tic-tac-toe boards with a larger cookie and smaller stars and circles as a tic-tac-toe. Just throwing ideas out there. So that's some ideas that I'm thinking about. I might try some macarons, but those are very like finicky with the weather and the humidity. And I don't like to promise to make those, because if I make them and they don't work out, then I don't have anything to sell, and I don't want to let people down. So today, the main sellers, I sold sourdough bagels. Those sold out. They sold out by like 10:30. So I could have definitely made more of those, or I could have made more loaves. But the market coordinator is actually purchasing like a bulk order of wholesale items. So I didn't want to over commit myself whenever I knew it. Tonight I already have my sourdough starter ready to go. And tonight I'm going to be making some 4 loaves, and I'm going to make the rolls. And then tomorrow I'm going to make the rest of the cinnamon buns and the rest of the rolls. So yeah, so that's awesome. But I sold the bagels. My zucchini muffins are really popular this week. Last week they weren't very popular, but this week they were. You just never know with baked goods. It's really hard, especially with the market. You have your regulars, but then you have people who don't come week to week. The simmer pots were really popular this week. Let's see what else. This week I had new items. I had lollipops, so pure honey lollipops, and then I had my elderberry honey lollipops back, and then I had dye-free cotton candy lollipops, and those are pretty popular. I only sold them for $1 each because I didn't know how popular they'd be, but next time I probably do 2 for $3, just to bump it up a little bit. I had, let's see, I also had sourdough Pop-Tarts, and those are pretty popular. I only had 2 left of those, so those sold really well. And then my sourdough starter I sold, and what else? Violet jellies. So I sold 3 violet jellies, which is wild violet that I collect from our yard, our property, because it's not sprayed. We don't use any chemicals on our grass or anything like that. So I know where it comes from. I had dandelion jelly this week, but that didn't sell. But the wild violet did. Everyone was interested in that. And I eat the wild violet on a weekly basis. Instead of using grape jelly, I will use the wild violet jelly. So it's really good if you want to try that. But my total sales this week, just for the market, were, I'm doing the math in my head. I have it tallied on both sides. So my total for the market was $160. So very similar to last week, but this week my the market supervisor coordinator was not there. She did not purchase the remainder of the cookies, so that was just pure market sales. So about the same, honestly, and really better, because last week my sales only got up that high because she bought the last of my cookies. So this week I was actually pretty impressed with how it went. It's 4 hours there, $160, so that's $40 an hour minus the cost of goods and everything. So really not that great of a profit margin, probably $20 an hour. But like I said, it's exposure. It's getting my name out there. It's getting me experience with this market coordinator, and getting us a feel for each other, and her knowing what events I'd be good at for her, and vice versa, me good at for her what I would want to attend. And in the winter months, I do more like chocolate candies, like homemade hot chocolate bombs, all that fun stuff that does not sell well and will melt in the summertime. No one wants that in the summer. So yeah, and I also do like candied orange peels, just classic candies in the winter, really more of the seasonal items. So I'm excited to bring those back. But overall, it was a pretty good week. I had, like I mentioned, a private cookie class, which brought in about $325. I made, let's just say, $150 today, minus, or $160 minus cost of goods, we'll say $100. We're going to go on the low end of that. So we have 325 plus 100, so that's 425 for this week. And then plus I had 5 dozen custom cookies, and all of those cookies this week were full size. So my full size start at $50 a dozen and go up to 60, but we're just going to keep it low and do $50, even though I know some are 55 and some are 60. Let's just do 50 because that'll take the tax away. So 50 times 5 would be $250 plus that 425. So that's 625, 675. So sorry, on the spot math makes me a little nervous. So about 675 just this week. In sales, which with my small business. So yeah, I'm pretty excited with that. My goal is to make about $500 a week, if I can, or around that, because I want to pay myself $500 a month, and then that $1,500 I either want to invest back in the business, keep it in the business account, or if some weeks are slower, then that will be covered. I know for July, the end of June, I have a lot of orders that are coming in, a lot of last minute orders. So that's great for me, but also a rush to get them done. But then it also makes me know that, like, come July, if I don't have as many orders, then I am secure because I have worked hard now. So I'm just reminding myself that, and also reminding myself that my kids are home and I want to spend the days with them. We have been going to the pool a lot, so I'm trying to enjoy that time too. I know you work from home moms, stay at home moms know the struggle. So yeah, it was a great week. I will keep you posted. No more farmers market vlogs, but I will try to do a weekly, like, bakery, work from home, stay at home mom vlog. I don't even know. I don't put my kids on the internet, even on my personal stuff. So you will not see my kids there, but I will talk about them. And yeah, that's what we're doing so far. So I will keep you updated. I have a lot of custom orders next week and the bulk order from the market coordinator, which I'm excited about and excited to share with y'all. So I will see y'all next time.